Please click on the thumbs up button and the subscribe button if you enjoyed my vlog. Bye for now.
Hi everybody, this is John from Old John's Vlogs. I'm doing a film of the garden all the year around, and it's January at the moment. It's the 26th of January and it's just above freezing, and you would think that nothing could be growing in the garden. So let's just go and have a look. Well, you can see there's things growing already. These will be Japanese anemones when they come out, and when they do come out they'll last until the first frost, which will be about October. There's one or two little shoots coming through at the moment. Not much to see, but just to prove that there are things coming through. Here's signs of new growth. Don't forget it's January. And even better, just look at these. Wow. Well, there's some more. "26th of January. I'll mention these from different times on different films, but these look to be dead. We just cut them back each year and they produce a really tall shrub whose name I forgot at the moment, and I can forget the names of the plants from week to week. Fortunately my son is the plant master, I'm just the gardener, and my son knows all the plants and some of the Latin names as well. Here we have either an apple or a pear tree. It's been in a couple of years now, it's not done anything. I don't think it will. I've got to try and convince my son to pull it out, but he would be very reluctant to do that. Here you can see garden furniture, which all pleases the eye in the winter. Although the garden looks fairly nice for the time of year. It's got really green grass and a few variegated plants in, such as the one I'm going to show you. This particular plant, all the coloration, every leaf is different in colour. Let's see if I can find one. There you can see one shape and colour, the next leaf completely different, and I like to draw those when the weather's nice. Now, you wouldn't think anything would be happening in the garden, but believe it or not, today the blue tits have been in and out of this box. And they've been pecking at the wood. Winter jasmine's still out. It's done very well for us, that. But look at this. Camellia buds. Wow. And there's loads of them. So each bud will produce a flower. Now I've gotten a little bit uneasy on my feet today, so the film will be up and down all over the place. I've developed a bit of a limp after an accident. I fell down in 2022. Had quite a nasty accident, but I'm alright now, except that I've been left with a bit of a limp, so the camera film will be all over the shop. But look at this, like a heather type, which is, I think it's a hebe. Lovely at this time of the year. You can see everything's frozen up solid, so it proves how cold it is. The ferns are still, some of them are alright, some of them have gone over of course with the cold, but there's still one or two out there, look. Done really well. In the background there, if you can see it actually, we've got some things that look like bird boxes, but they're actually for bees and spiders. I think some's in there. Also some creepy crawlies, so they're really creepy crawly houses. I love this wood. I like to draw it, and it's some kind of a herb. Now usually I don't sell my H's because I come from South Yorkshire. I've been told to speak in dialect naturally, but some people prefer to hear H's, so I'm including them. This holly has been very nice for us. It's been as you can see from the trunk, it's been in quite a while now. But it keeps coming, and the birds like to get in there out of the way of the cat. We play with cats, but we don't do anything about it because cats have a right to be in the garden, I suppose. More holly, and then variegated types there, and some more holly. Oh, there's a gate behind there, so I can get behind the shed to paint it. Here is where we usually keep our bins, so they can't be seen in the summer, but in the winter time we have them closer to the house. Right. So here's the feeding station, and this particular feeder holds a kind of a sunflower seed with the husks taken off, and the birds that love that are goldfinch. We get a lot of goldfinch. So roughly I think that's about it for now. My my battery's a bit low. A bit more garden furniture which lights up in the dark. There's some oh, this is where the bins are stored in the winter, so that we can come straight out of the back door and fill them up, and then we don't have to slip in the icy conditions. But normally we don't have them there. So let's have a look at the garden as a whole. I really need to paint the fencing at some point. The sheds want painting again. All the fence on the left needs painting. I think that's about it on this one. I don't think we can do more. Oh, I know there's one thing I can show you, the shamrock. Now fancy the shamrock being out at this time of year. It's usually dead, but it is suffering from the cold weather. You can see it's all curling up at the edges. Now this box here, it's got a paving underneath it, and that paving used to be used by my wife to stand on to speak to our neighbours. Sadly they've passed away now, and we've got new neighbours who are very nice. And also we've got these things that run off the sun and light all the garden lights up. We've got 4 or 5 of those, I think we've 5. So look. Yeah, what tends to happen with those garden lights, and this lights up as well, it's like a Christmas tree, is that they tend to flicker if there's not been enough sunlight. When the sun's been out, it's they look lovely all the time. Now look at these. You'll never guess that some of these are plastic. They had a bit of interest in the winter. These are not plastic. This is a pot-bound planting area, which will have to be cleaned out this year. More plasticky plants, they look realistic, don't they? And even more. And my son just put some on the drive as well. The idea of the ones on the drive is to give privacy to our neighbours. And also we are showing at the moment buds on the hydrangeas. I'll just have a quick look at that. Yep, and those will be like dinner plates when they've come out. Normally we would just cut those back in March. Here we go, let's have a look. So we don't cut the dead plants off until March, and they will flower until the frosts come, and everybody remarks how big they are, really large. Hi everybody, this is John from Old John's Vlogs. We're still in January. I just thought I'd show you a little trick I've learnt when feeding the birds. You'll notice I've got gloves on, and that's because sometimes you don't want to cross-contaminate Sometimes birds can get things, and we can get things off birds. So to make sure I don't get salmonella in the house, I wear gloves, and then I thoroughly wash my hands after I've filled the feeder. So this particular food, it's called Sunflower Hearts. I know it is, it's sunflowers that's had the husks taken off. So there you have it. I've just oops, nearly tripped up on myself there. I've just fed the birds. Now these particular nuts are a little bit on the expensive side. The squirrel also likes to get on there, which you'll probably see later in the year. I think it's about £3 a bag now, that for them. Although it's a bit difficult to tell because everything's shot up at the moment. They may lower the price later in the year. Having said that, we are getting as many as 18 goldfinch on there, greenfinch, chaffinch on the floor. I've heard bullfinch calling. We've had long-tail tits after the fat balls, blue tit and great tit on the tray. And it's all happening really. So it's just a matter of keeping the food going all the time at this time of year. A little trick is if you're feeding for the first time, if you're creating your own food station, feeding station, only fill to about there, halfway. It'll take the birds a couple of weeks to find it, and the last thing you want is to waste seed due to it going rotten because nothing's coming for it. So yep, fill it to about halfway, only put a couple of fat balls in, hardly anything in the tray if you've got one, and until they start coming. Then what happens is robins are getting on the tray, starlings, dunnocks now are getting on there, and they spill it over onto the floor, and on the floor then we have blackbirds collecting on there. No thrushes in the garden, I'm afraid. There are some in the park, but not in our garden. You probably see that also that blackbird is the last to be feeding on a night, and the first to be feeding on a morning. And there is a reason for that, particularly at this time of year. As you probably know, blackbirds like to eat worms, and there's more calorific value in seed, vitamin wise, than there is in worms. So it's a mixed blend for blackbirds, but they feed last thing at the night normally when the weather's not bad, just purely and simply to take them through the night, I think, food value wise, that is. And then of course they're one of the first out to feed on a morning, in the garden anyway, although the robin's probably the first to be chirping when the weather gets better. We do get owls calling, tawny owls, and they usually call for about 2 days, and then that's it, they've gone. They've got the mate, I think, and off they move. If you've any questions about birds, please let me know, or gardening. If I've got the answers, I'll give them to you. If I haven't, I'll tell you I don't know. Anyway, that's it for now. Another January session in the garden. Oh, there's one more thing I've just remembered. You'll probably be able to see in the grass lots of little mounds like this one. Well, there's lots of them up and down, and that's caused by worms coming to the surface, and of course they aerate the lawn. Now this particular lawn, it's got quite a bit of moss in it, and I do scree it every year, and I don't do it all at once because I found it to be very hard work. Now I'm getting old, but I get a lot of the moss out, and it looks beautiful in the summer, I have to say. Anyway, you can see that the grass is growing unevenly, and that's because there's several different types of grasses in this lawn. Here's one. Here's another. And it's what's been put in over the years. A well-established garden for a long time, and it also slopes, which helps to drain the soil off so the grass doesn't get too wet and boggy and lifeless, although there would be more moss in it had it not sloped and I didn't scree it. It doesn't look much at the moment, but believe me, in the summer it'll look beautiful. Anyway, that's it for now. Bye.